Bearcats hosting a 1-1 record this season with their loss to La Feria, their week 1, 41-13, and beating La Grulia last week, 31-19. Home team, the Lyford Bulldogs, coached by Israel Gonzalez, right now starting off the season 0-2. The loss in week 1 came to Santa Rosa, 32-12, and week 2's loss came to Hidalgo, 35-20. We're about less than 13 minutes away from kickoff, and with me is Mr. Albert Peña. Mr. Peña, what are some thoughts for you tonight?
Well, like a lot of rivalry games, Mr. Munguia, I hope that the actual game itself matches the hype. A lot of talk going around both communities and throughout the county for a lot of different reasons. So a highly anticipated contest. There are not only fans from both Lyford and Raymondville here tonight, but also some students from the other local high schools. So like you said, Lyford is in need of a win against anybody, but how much sweeter would it be coming against their cross-county rivals from Raymondville?
I agree, and as you said, this is the Willacy County Cotton Bowl. So we have two teams in Willacy County that host football teams, and that would be Raymondville and Lyford. But once again, like you just said, there are our other two schools being represented here tonight, the San Bernardino Trojans and La Sada Lions, that are in the stands in both sides of the field. This is a county event, really and truly, that attracts many. So we're hoping for a good one here tonight and see what we can get out of it. If you guys didn't make it to the game, I'll tell you what, Real Sports Live will be giving you the play-by-play commentary. We want to remind everybody that we will not be able to give you a video feed, but we're going to do our best to give you every color commentary that we can, play-by-play audio-wise. Follow us on Real Sports Live, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Spread the word. If you didn't make the game or you couldn't get the tickets, we got you covered here. This is Marco Munguia and Mr. Albert Peña, and we'll be back after this.
So we're good. Audio's good? Audio's good. I thought they said not to move.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable. For condo and beach house rentals, call and visit the website today. Island Services.
Hi, we're Lady Vikings, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the prices? It's a hacienda party.
It's football season at Hacienda Ford, and you can get a new Ford Expedition with 20-inch wheels, leather, navigation, and more for $12,000 off MSRP.
We got the tailgates down.
For their warm welcome.
All right, welcome back to Lyford Stadium, Lyford Bulldog Stadium in Lyford, Texas. We're at the Cotton Bowl with the Raymondville Bearcats, and the home team, Lyford Bulldogs, are almost ready to kick off. We got about 9 minutes. A little bit about the Rainbow Bearcats this season. Like I said, they are 1-1 on this short season, coached by Frank Cantu, who's been leading the team for his 6th year this year. Coach Cantu has been around the Bearcat program for about the last 15 to 20 years, and he's done a great job trying to get his Cats rallied back up and have a nice run this season. Last week over in La Grulla, the Cats really opened up offensively, racking up 389 yards of offense last week, led by receiver running back Xavier Armendariz, who rushed for 170 yards on 14 carries, and Justin Cantu, who went for 146 yards on 15 carries. You can say they're the thunder and the lightning, the 1-2 combo for the Raymondville Bearcats. Last year, Raymondville hosted a 9-2 record and went 3-0 in district. They ended up beating Orange Grove in by-district and losing to Novato in the area. Players to keep an eye on tonight will be quarterback junior Jared Cavazos, running back Justin Cantu, running back Xavier Armendariz, who's running at the running back and receiver, and big tight end sophomore Jason Cantu, who was a big target and had some really nice catches last week at La Grulla. On the defensive side of things, junior defensive end Dylan Ramirez leads the team in tackles and sacks. You have junior defensive back A.J. Sayas, who's always looking for the big hit, and linebacker Thomas Zambrano. For the Lyford Bulldogs, well, Coach Israel Gonzalez has started the short season 0-2, like I said earlier, losses to Santa Rosa and to Hidalgo, but last season they fared pretty well, going 7-4 overall, 5-2 in district, and they lost to and by district to San Antonio Cole on a close one, 16-14. The Bulldogs plan on having a big year this year, featuring one of the top quarterbacks in the valley in Caleb Klosterman. But unfortunately, Klosterman in week 1 broke his collarbone. So the reins were handed over to backup quarterback Abel Gonzalez, where Abel Gonzalez also got hit with an injury in week 2 at Hidalgo. So now they're handing over to young sophomore quarterback Brendan Nunez, who I hear has a strong arm, and let's see if Coach Gonzalez plans to open up the game on the passing game today. A couple players to watch is big number 50 at the offensive line and defensive line, Luis DeVries. Also, Gavino Morales, number 30. Last year, Cotton Bowl results, Raymondville took the win 49-0. So we're over about maybe 6 minutes away from kickoff, and we will be back after this.
Mahasi and the friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Hi, we're Robert Bella's favorite cats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Hi, we're the Lady Tigers, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
We are the Patriots. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Services have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Everyone's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2 in Harlingen. Choose from a wide selection and score big today on West Expressway 83.
Right now, how about this 2015 Chrysler 300S model with a Beat stereo, leather interior, navigation, $57,000, reduced today, $19,999. Or a 2012 Ram 1500, a Lone Star package, 5.7 Hemi engine, a towing package, automatic, $16,499. Or how about a diamond in the rough, 1998 Dodge 3500 dually with a fifth wheel, 4x4, power everything, heavy-duty bumper, $14,999.
Financing is available with lending for all types. Every deal's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2, in business since 2002, Harlingen, Texas.
Welcome back to Lyford, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, and we are a minute away from kickoff here in Lyford, Texas at the 2019 Willacy Cotton Bowl featuring the Raymondville Bearcats against home team, the Lyford Bulldogs. And once again, we have a sold-out crowd here tonight. It's packed. It's packed, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't made it to the game, get down here. If you didn't get a ticket, hey, even better, it's all right. We have you covered here on Real Sports Live. Want to remind everybody that through UIL regulations, we are not able to show Friday night games on video, but we have you here on audio on Real Sports Live, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Share, like, tell your family, tell your friends. Tune in, whether you're here in the Valley, whether you're out of the Valley, tune in, and we'll try to give you a shout out from wherever you're watching from. This is Marco Munguia alongside with Mr. Albert Peña, and here come the Bulldogs. Once again, this game features two teams. Once again, this game features two teams that are hungry for a win. Raymondville's looking to go 2-1, while Lyford is going to be looking to pick up their first victory of the season. Mr. Peña, what do we have for us?
Well, there come the Bearcats. They are placing their flags right about the 50-yard line. They're going to stake their claim to part of this stadium, or at least they hope so. Like I said, been a lot of talk this week on both sides. Now it's time to put up or shut up. We're ready for some football here in Lyford, Texas.
We have an electric crowd here tonight at both sides. Everybody is fired up and ready to see who's going to come out and deliver the first punch. As we get ready for kickoff, we got Lyford's captains for tonight. Number 76, Sebastian Garza. Number 77, Emmanuel Cepeda. Number 58, John Hernandez. And number 7, who's not padded up tonight, number 7, Abel Gonzalez. Once again, Lyford's been hit by some injuries in week 1 and week 2. Week 1, they lost starting quarterback Klosterman to a broken collarbone. So the reins were handed over to number 7, Abel Gonzalez, who came in and got injured as well. So now they're featuring their third-string quarterback who says, you know what, Coach, I'm ready to step up, and that's number 10, Brendan Nunes. Over on the Raymondville side, captains for tonight, number 53, Steven Tovar, number 13, Justin Cantu, number 7, Zoravian Amerdades, and I believe that is number 10, Saul Garcia.
Lyford has won the toss and they've deferred. They will be defending the north goal to begin this game. Captains shaking hands. They're about ready to head back to their respective sidelines, and we're about to tee this one off, Coach.
Well, we're ready. I know the fans are ready, and everybody is just ready to get some Friday night football going. So we're all excited here. We're trying to see what's going on. We want to know who's going to be the first to come out, who's going to be the first to hit, who's going to be the first to score. I want to remind everybody that Friday nights, UIL regulations, we are not able to show the game live through video. But once again, we will keep you up to date, play-by-play, through audio. So please stay with us and be part of this game.
Before we begin, we'd like to invite everyone once again to concession stands on both sides of the field.
So both teams in their huddles, Coach Gonzalez firing up his mean green team, Coach Cantu riling up his big blue. And we are just about ready for kickoff. It's a beautiful night in South Texas. The sun is setting. It was a hot one while setting up, I can tell you that. I think I lost about 3 pounds, at least from the sweat up here, getting ready. But now it's nice and fresh. And it's a great night for Friday night football. What do you think, Mr. Peña?
Yeah, the wind's blowing. The windmills are blowing out in the east. Beautiful evening. The sun's just about to set. I've had to remove my sunglasses and put on my regular specs. Lyford's teeing it up there.
And we're about ready for kickoff. And there's the kickoff by number 52, Tristan Garcia, which comes down and takes a Lyford bounce. Number 7, Armendariz, picks it up and is chased out of bounds for pretty much a gain of 1.
Directional kick over there to the right side, and Armendariz picked it up, fumbled it a bit, couldn't do much with it. It rolled out of bounds harmlessly, and the Bearcats will take over right about their own 18-yard line as we get this one. 17, make it. Spotted at the 17 as they get things underway.
So leading the Bearcats tonight is number 1, junior Jared Cavazos, who has shown some growth from week 1 to week 2. They say your biggest gain is usually between game 2 and 3. So let's see what Cavazos has in store. Set up in a shotgun form, gets a snap and handed off to number 13, Justin Cantu, who's fighting up some tackles up the right side. Picks up a short, tough gain of about 2 or 3. Short gain of about 2. We're looking at 2nd and 8. Cavazos got his cats in the huddle. Mean Green once again being led on the defensive side of things by number 30, Gavino Morales, and number 50, Luis DeVries. Cavazos back in shotgun formation, has a man in motion, number 7. That's Armendariz, who finds something outside. There's lots of room. He's got the 30, at the 40. He's got the 50, going down the 40, the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Bearcats.
Didn't take long for Armendariz to strike the first blow. Went 81 yards around the left end. Once he got outside the contain, he was all but gone.
What looked to be about a 70, 80-yard run is being called back by the officials. I don't see any flags on the play. I don't see any flags on the field.
Illegal shift on the offense.
Yes, back there's a flag. It was by the line judge. We have an illegal shift.
Might have something to do with that little jet sweep action they were running. There might have been a second player in motion at the same time. Maybe somebody flinched. But an 81-yard run, all for naught. All he gets is a little winded out of that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he finds an open space, he's going. I said earlier, Armendariz and Cantu, thunder and lightning. Cantu's their power, Armendariz is their speed.
They will test the speed of this Bulldog secondary if they get outside like that on a continual basis.
So Cavazos back in shotgun. He's got double receiver sets on both sides with Cantu in the backfield. Cavazos steps back, looking for him. Got some pressure by number 50 from Lyford. He finds an open man. It's batted down, but right back in the hands of Cavazos, who takes the ball back and gets a short gain. Actually, he gets a nice little gain on the deflection that came right back to him for a gain of about 13.
Well, they said Cavazos could do a lot. He's now the leading receiver for the Bearcats. Just picked one up for about 13, 14 yards and up for a first down.
So ball was deflected by linebacker number 30, Gavino Morales, who the ball just fell right back into Cavazos' hands, and Cavazos picks up about a gain of about 8, I believe. So now we have 3rd and 2.
Oh, he was just shy of the first down.
Just shy. I thought he had gotten it, but the markers have him back. So we're looking at about a 3rd and 2 for the Bearcats with 10:20, and we have a timeout on the field. So just in the short time that we've been watching the game, we've seen some electricity. We had an 80-yard play going for a TD called back on the illegal shift. Then we had a deflection by Lyford who fell, and the deflection falls right back into Cavazos' hands for a gain of 8. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not here tonight, get here.
We're about 100 seconds in, and we've already seen 2 interesting plays. If that's any indication of how the evening's going to be, we're in for a slobber knocker.
So we're about ready out of the timeout. Let's see what Coach Cantu is going to pull out his bag of tricks right now. Cavazos back in the shotgun. He's got a tight end on one side, receivers to the right and the left, with Armendariz in the backfield. Cavazos calling for the snap. Handoff right up the middle. Gets that first down. Handoff to Cantu, who rumbles for about 4 and gets that Bearcat first down.
With the carry, he picks up the first down. Ball is now at the 31-yard line. First and 10.
For those just tuning in, we want to welcome you to Real Sports Live, coming to you from Lyford, Texas, at the 2019 Cotton Bowl. And if you're wondering right now, where's the video? Well, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, UIL regulations regulates us from showing Friday night football games live on the video, but we have you here trying to give you the best we can, play-by-play. Cantu coming, handoff up the middle to Cantu. Cantu's trying to get to the outside, but finds a little bit of room back to the middle, where he's met by a slew of Bulldogs. Leading that slew is number 53 for the Bulldogs.
They've lined up Armendariz at a couple of different positions. He's lined up wide. Last play, he was in the slot. I have a feeling they may just be moving him around to see how the Lyford defense reacts and then decide what kind of plays they're going to run for him. Here he comes again on the short side of the field, which is our side.
Armendariz will line up at a receiver. He'll line up at the running back. They just want to try to get the ball into his hands, which they did on, once again, like an end around, who comes back inside and is finding room to run. And he's got that breakout first down and trying to get every inch more. But he's met by number 2, Mark Maruquin, who brings him down.
He came in motion out of that slot on the left side and took the quick pitch and took that thing for good yardage for the Bearcats. And I have a feeling we'll be calling his name another time or two before it's all said and done.
47-yard line.
Well, Cantu and Armendariz will sure get a heavy load tonight.
Armendariz is lining up in the backfield now next to Cantu as they flank the quarterback who's in the shotgun.
So here we go. Handoff to Armendariz, who finds a hole up on the left side of the field. Takes it for a good gain of about 8.
Yeah, just a straight handoff off to the right side there. Got him 8 or 9 yards, got him second and manageable. Playbook is wide open for Coach Cantu on this 2nd and 2. They're inside Lyford territory at the 45. 2 yards to go for that first down.
Right now, Lyford's defense is having a hard time stuffing the line. And once Cantu or Armendariz finds something to the outside, they're getting a good little look. 2nd and 2. Cavazos back in shotgun. Armendariz to his right. Make that Cantu. Cavazos decides to keep the ball with a QB sneak up the middle and gets the 3 to 4 yards for the first down.
That time Armendariz was lined up as a wingback over on the right side. His assignment on that play was to block.
Ball on Lyford's 32-yard line now as Raymondville keeps marching the length of the field. 42-yard line. 7:19 in the game. And Raymondville steadily moving the ball along. It looks like Armendariz is now in the wildcat formation. He takes the ball up the right side of the field and finds a lane, trying to get up the sideline to the 30-yard line before hit out of bounds by number 2, Mark Maruquin. Alongside him, his teammate, number 23, Benji Gonzalez.
Pretty close to first down yardage once again for Armendariz.
Comes up just a bit short. So we're looking at a second and about inches. Let's see if they try to go right up the middle.
This time he's coming out to the slot on the left side. Short side over here by us.
Quarterback. Hands off to Cantu.
Cantu was stuffed that time. Number 66 for the Bulldogs stopped him for a gain of 1. It was, however, enough for the first down, so they're going to move the chains again. The ball is spotted at the 31 with 6:49 and counting in the first quarter. So the Bulldogs defense has been on the field a little over 5 minutes, and Raymondville methodically marching down, not deterred by that penalty on the 81-yard run as they look to the sideline for instructions. Shotgun formation again. Cantu takes a handoff over to the left side behind the Armendariz block. Picks up 4 or 5 yards. Going to be second down. Coming up on the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Ball is spotted at the 27-yard line. Once again, over here on our side of the field, which is the west side. We are situated in the penthouse, which is above the press box. A nice little fenced-in area, al fresco, if you will. Back to action. Raymondville ready to snap. Pass out to the right side. It's complete inside the 20 at the 17. Number 86 with the reception. That's going to be another first down for Raymondville. Ball's going to be spotted at the 18. Now over on the far side of the field. 1st and 10.
1st and 10. Bulldog 18-yard line.
Cavazos in the shotgun takes a snap. This time he's going to keep it himself over on the left side. Picks up about 4 to the 14. Make that a 2nd and 6 for the Raymondville Bearcats. Lyford's got to find a way to make a stop here and maybe hold these guys to a field goal attempt. They're just getting pushed back little by little. With the exception of that 81-yard run that was called back, it's been 10, 8, 6, all positive yardage plays for Raymondville. Here comes the snap. A little misdirection. Faked the handoff to the left. Gave it over to Cantu, slicing to the right. Modest gain of a couple of yards. Looks like it's going to set up a 3rd down and about 4 at the 12. Now coming up on the 4-minute mark in the first quarter. And as the scoreboard reads, turn up the heat, the Bulldog defense has got to be feeling a little bit of that too. They've got to be getting a little winded. They've been chasing Bearcats around for 8 minutes. Cavazos back in the shotgun. Actually, Cantu looks like he's going to take the snap. Oh, we got motion over on the right side. Armendariz stepped up a little too quickly. He's going to get called. So that's going to give the the Bulldogs a much-needed breather and will also set the Bearcats back into a 3rd and about 8. Little things like that are drive killers. That turned a 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 8. Changes possibly your play selection. Raymondville's going wide now. They've got 3 receivers out on the right side, 1 on the left. Cavazos rolls to the right, passes it. It's broken up by the Bulldog defender, number 2. He's going to force him.
Mark Marukin, who met and broke up that pass that was intended for
4th down for the Bearcats.
Well, now we're looking at a 4th and about 8. Looks like the Bearcats are going to decide to go for a field goal by their kicker, number 10, Saul Garcia. Saul Garcia, week 1, hit a 58-yarder against La Feria for 3 of Rainbow's points. Snap, kick is up. It's looking like it's going, and it falls short. No good. No good.
So the Bulldogs dodge a bullet. They'll take over after the missed field goal. They spend almost 9 minutes on the field, but they come away unscathed. They will take over at their own 20-yard line, and we await the sophomore quarterback, Brandon Nunez. It'll be interesting to see 2 things. First of all, what kind of play selection they have for him as he gets his feet wet, and how he responds to the pressure and the adversity that he's starting to face throughout the course of this game. Lyford forced to call a timeout. They did not have enough men on the field. Had a receiver running out right before the snap, and Coach Gonzalez decided let's start from scratch. Let's take a timeout. No need in starting a drive off with a negative play or perhaps even a turnover because the guy was out of position.
So Lyford calls the timeout, ball on the 20-yard line. First time we're going to see Lyford on the offensive end tonight. Once again, Rainbow started off the game pretty electrified and had themselves an 80-yard run by Almendares that was called back on an illegal shift. Called back on the illegal shift. So that brought the ball back, and Rainbow tried to chip away down the field. Attempted a field goal attempt, and it fell short. Saul Garcia's field goal fell short, leaving our score 0-0 with 3:22 in the first quarter. So here we go. Lyford ready to take the helms. Brandon Nunez. Double set on both sides. Low throw down there. Number one, Matt Sanchez, who just can't pick it up off the ground.
And probably better for Lyford that he did. He was going to lose 4 yards on that reception had he caught it. He was catching it with a knee already on the ground and a member of the Bearcats secondary closing in on him. So, like I said, probably better that he didn't catch it. Snap it again, 2nd and 10. Much better than 2nd and 14.
So here we go. As Nunez ready for the snap. Double run backfield. Finding his man up the middle. Handoff, who picks up the tough running yards. The handoff was to number 23, Benji Gonzalez, who picks up about 4.
And they're going to need some of that tough running in between the tackles to take some of the pressure off of this young quarterback, maybe set up some play action and help him out in the passing game.
Raymondville's defense once again anchored down by number 11, defensive end, Dylan Ramirez, along with number 40, Tomas Zambrano. Nunez ready, got some movement in the back, trying to get set. Nunez steps back, looking for his receiver, finds his tailback, number 22, Devin Mendoza, who picks up a nice little gain for the first down. And we got flags on the field. Got all kinds of flags, got a little pushing and shoving. Once again, this is a heated rivalry, ladies and gentlemen.
And the coaches are out there on the field separating kids. So the first fracas of the evening comes with 2:22 left in the first quarter. Like we talked about, this is a rivalry game. There's been a lot of talk in the preamble to this thing, and hopefully these coaches can get their kids under control where they can play football and let their play do the talking.
Rivalry or not, we always talk about sportsmanship, and I'm pretty sure right now both coaches are pretty upset at some of this behavior.
Yeah, no telling what happened to instigate that. That was a nice move by Mendoza, but he did go into some traffic. I'm sure there was one or two additional Bearcats may have piled onto the tackle. Perhaps his teammates took offense to that, and it ain't going to take much to get these two teams going. The officials are over here on our side of the field discussing the infractions. We've got one of them talking to the Lyford coaching staff, telling them what he saw and what their thought process is. Raymondville players are over on their side of the field talking with their coaches and waiting for the Zebras to get this thing sorted out.
So trying to get both teams settled down and cooled off. Like I said, this rivalry is one for the ages. Raymondville and Lyford have been playing each other, but I'm going to tell you something right now. There is also a strong bond. I mean, there's families, there's cousins, there's best friends, boyfriends, girlfriends. Living 7 miles away from each other, we all share an HEB, a Whataburger. So it's one big county. But when you get on the football field, there are no friends. So
that's right. The only friends between the lines are the ones wearing the same color jersey as you. But hopefully they can keep it within the confine of the rules and learn from this little fracas. The officials are still sorting this out. Hopefully we won't have any players ejected. Now the linesman is headed over to talk to Coach Cantu on the other side and let him know what's going on. A couple of the Raymondville players have removed their helmets. They're kind of taking in a little of this southeasterly breeze that we're blessed with on this wonderful Friday evening. Now they're moving on over towards where the coach and the official are talking, trying to see what they can gather out of that conversation. We got a personal foul against Lyford. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Raymondville. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Lyford. All offsetting, it looks like. I'm going to assume those are going to be after the play, and the play will stand, but we'll see what the ruling is. They haven't moved the chains yet. So we had an unsportsmanlike on Lyford. I'm sorry, a personal foul on Lyford, and unsportsmanlike, one on each side.
Yes, sir. It's there now. Perfect. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I just need to turn off the audio eyeball here so we can get the video here, but our audio is what's going on.
We hope to resume live game action here in just a few moments, fans. This first quarter was rolling along. Bearcats took 9 minutes off the clock, only to come up empty on a missed field goal. Lyford just picked up a first down on a tough run, or catch and run by Mendoza. And on the tackle, somebody took exception to something that somebody else did. It's best I can describe it without having seen everything that happened.
So officials trying to straighten everything up. And it looks like ball's being brought back. And we're waiting for an official call. Like I said, flags flew everywhere as tempers were flaring. So
flags
being moved
flew,
back.
tempers flared, and bodies flew. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 22-yard line.
And now that everything's settled, the
3rd and
Lyford
8.
Bulldogs are ready to get back on the field. With the Bearcat defense ready to answer. So once again, Lyford being led by number 10, Brendan Nunes, who's in shotgun. He gets the snap, find a receiver, but he can't find nothing. Tries to take it up himself, up the middle for a short gain of about 2.
The pocket collapsed there for Nunez after a couple of seconds. He was going to try and take matters into his own hands and was not able to break the contain of the defensive line. So that's going to set up a 4th and about 7 for Lyford. And you would assume they're going to punt because they're deep in their own territory. Looks like we've got another unsportsmanlike conduct called against Raymondville. So that's going to give the Bulldogs 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Flags, tempers.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Bearcats.
Things are still a little chippy out there.
Like I said, this is a rivalry game, ladies and gentlemen. Rivalry game. These kids are trying to play as hard as they can. Just sometimes the emotions get the best of them. And we're hoping to get things better so we can get some good football tonight.
So Lyford with a fresh set of downs at their own 38. Officials are having to make sure that everybody has a flag before the next play. Don't know if that's a good sign or not. Good game management.
Snap is going, handoff to number 22, Devin Mendoza. But it looks like the ball's on the floor. And it's a fumble. Fumble recovered by number 12, Nathan Munguia. As Mendoza looked to dive for a couple more yards and must have gotten popped right on the ball. They popped it right out. And the Bearcats recovered the fumble.
I find it hard to believe that he wasn't down by contact as low as he was. But nobody's challenging. Nobody's complaining. Lyford's offense walked off. Raymondville's walked on.
You know, that was the first thing. And then they always tell you, play until you hear the whistle blow. So here come the Bearcats in good field position. Ball on the Lyford Bulldog 35. Cavazos back in shotgun. Hands the ball off to Cantu, who's looking up the left side of the field, trying to get around the corner, but he is met. But he is breaking a couple tackles. And what could have been a loss of 2, he ends up gaining 2.
Yeah, turned a -2 into a +2 just by sheer will alone. It was 1-on-3. And he dragged those guys a couple of yards and made something positive. What could have been a 2nd and 12, now a 2nd and 8.
You know, as I look out into the sky tonight, there is a full moon, so maybe that has to do a little bit with the chippy behavior from both teams.
And it's Friday the 13th, too.
Oh,
let's break out all the superstitions.
That's a double. On that short gain, the flag was thrown on the field, bringing back the Bearcats all the way back to the 45. So that's a 10-yard penalty on the Bearcats. And I can almost guarantee you Coach Cantu is not happy with the discipline of his team right now. Cavazos hands the ball off to Cantu. Cantu trying to find something. I beat that back. That's not Cantu. That's number 11 is going to number 7. Number 7, 13. Cantu, yes, he finds the end zone. Up the right side of the field, Justin Cantu finds the outside, breaks away for about a 45-yard run for the touchdown. Justin Cantu, touchdown Bearcats.
Well, it was only a matter of time till one of these Bearcats got outside the contain and just outraced everybody to the end zone, just like we saw on that 81-yard run that was called back. Seems like they've got just a little bit more speed than their counterparts this evening.
So Will Garcia ready to put up the extra point. Snap is good, ball is up, and it is through the uprights. The extra point is good. That gives the Rainbow Bearcats the lead of 7-0. As our time in the first quarter is almost up. So once again, a 45-yard run by Justin Cantu. who finds the right side of the field wide open. Cantu had a big game last week against La Grulia, went over 130 yards, and he says, give me some more of that.
Well, if you're Lyford, you've got to just keep your composure and stick with your game plan at this point. They moved the ball a little bit on their first possession, but that fumble wound up being really costly. They set up the Bearcats with a short field, turning it over at their own 35. A penalty later moved them back to the 45, and Cantu took care of it from there, taking the ball to the house.
So Saul Garcia ready to kick off to the Bulldogs. Back to receive for the Bulldogs is number 2, Mark Maruquin. And now the Bulldogs are ready to see if they can answer right back. Raymondville side is loud and rowdy after that touchdown and silence the Lyford crowd. But I think they're ready. Hits a low kickoff over to Maruquin, who picks up the ball, finds himself a seam, and is hit hard by number 6 of the Bearcats, Jacob Reyes.
And still a little extracurricular activity going on after the whistle. Raymondville's kickoff team headed back to their own sideline, but not before a little love nudge from the Lyford kids. Decent field position for Lyford. They've got the ball at their own 33. Let's see how they respond here.
Well, I know Coach Gonzalez is a fired-up kind of guy, so I'm sure he's motivating his boys to get something going here.
32-yard line, first and 10.
Brendan Nunes ready to start his offense now, and let's see what Lyford's going to do. We got 2 receivers up on the right side with 1 receiver over to the left. Looks like a handoff, but he's going to try to pitch it out, but he's met before he can pitch anything out and brought down for a big loss by number 32 of the Bearcats, Victor Oviedo, and number 11, Dylan Ramirez.
Yeah, and they put him down with authority. That was not a garden variety tackle there. I think they were trying to send some kind of message to the young quarterback.
Well, it looks like we have another yellow hanky on the field. So let's see what the call is here.
Unsportsmanlike on both sides. Here we go again. So the first 9 minutes of this first quarter went by pretty much without event, and the last 3 minutes have taken half an hour, it seems like.
Well,
been a lot of laundry on the ground.
I can guarantee you Coach Gonzalez and Coach Cantu are going to have some words for their boys when they get back during halftime, but that's still a while to go. These guys are playing on pure emotion. We understand that, like I said, this is a rivalry game. These guys are heated. They just want to play. They want to play hard, and out of it comes a little bit of extra.
Emotion is a great thing if you can keep it under control, but once the emotion controls you, you're going to be in trouble.
So Nunes gathering his troops around. He's back in the shotgun formation. We have an end of the first quarter,
And that's the end of the first
with the
quarter.
Bearcats leading 7-0. This is Real Sports Live, coming to you from Lyford, Texas. Reminder, if you're listening to us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, please like and share. Tell your friends, tell your families. Tune into our game. We're going to have a good one here, and we'll be back after this.
We're Mission Veterans, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
All right, here we go. Start of the second quarter. Lyford Bulldogs with the ball. Here is the snap. Nunes looking for his receiver. Finds number 2, but it's short. trying to get the ball over to Mark Marroquin, but he just cannot get the grasp of it. So now we're looking at a 3rd and forever. 3rd and about 21.
Kind of looks like Marroquin's going to be the go-to spark that they'll be looking for on the Lyford offensive side. They've tried to put the ball in his hands in a number of ways. Illegal procedure on Lyford, that's going to be declined. That'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Marroquin over here in the slot on the near side.
So here we go. Nunez back in his shotgun. Got twin sets receivers on both sides. He's looking to find somebody deep, and he has a wide open number 5, Diego Guerra. With the ball.
Coverage there. He was wide open, had nothing but green ahead of him. He just couldn't corral the pass.
Guerra was on an island all by himself. And maybe because it was such an easy catch, the ball just slips right through his hands for an incomplete pass. But I can promise you, he catches that, he's in for 6.
That may come back to haunt the Bulldogs later in this game. They could have used that play to swing the momentum back in their favor.
So now the Bulldogs are back to punt with Armendariz waiting to receive. Punt is up, and it's a nice-looking punt that takes a Bulldog bounce. Armendariz picks it up, makes a spin, bumps it to his own man, but he gets control of the ball, finds a little something up to the right side of the field. But it looks like there was a big hit.
There's a flag down at the 40 as well.
So we have a flag down at the 40-yard line.
And there's a Bulldog down at the other end of the field, right in front of the Raymondville bench. Some of the Raymondville training staff looks like they're attending to him.
Once again, more flags on
Could have been due to the big block that came up, and it might have been an illegal block. That's where the flag is on there.
Actually, it's a Bearcat that's down. I see the white pants.
So once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the 2019 Cotton Bowl here in Lyford, Texas. I know we have plenty of alum listening tonight, whether you're from Lyford or whether you're from Raymondville. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, as well as the rest of the Valley that wanted to see and listen, to some Friday night football. We have plenty of games going on Real Sports Live. Mercedes at La Feria is being broadcasted right now. We have Ed Couch at Los Fresnos being broadcasted right now. So anytime we have a break in our action, feel free to turn in to some of our other games. But if you're a die-hard blue and gold, or if you're a die-hard green and gold, stay with us.
Back to my original call, it was a Bulldog that was down on the play, number 15, came off the field under his own power. He's not listed on our roster, so we can't tell you who he is, but it looks like he's going to be okay. He's sitting there on the bench. A couple of teammates are coming over to check on him. He's drinking some water. Doesn't appear to be any worse for the wear.
So we have a penalty on the Bearcats, as well as an ejection of a player for the Cats. But this game will go on. So Bearcat ball, 1st and 10. Ball on the 25-yard line.
10 from the 25 for the Bearcats.
And here we go. Snap is up to Cavazos, who hands the ball off to his tailback. To Armendariz.
Another flag.
Who gets up for about 6. But once again, flags on the field.
They waved it off. No infraction.
So they waved the flag off, and we're going to continue going. So Raymondville trying to keep this going. Armendariz with that nice little run on the right-hand side, off his tackle. 11 minutes in the game. Raymondville Bearcats 7, Lyford Bulldogs 0 in the second quarter. Cavazos back in shotgun. He's got a trips right with a man in motion. Little trickery, giving the ball up to number 13, Cantu, who's finding something up the right-hand side. He's on the 35, the 40, the 30. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and it's touchdown, Justin Cantu. Touchdown, Justin Cantu for the Bearcats. For a touchdown of about 69 yards. Giving the Bearcats a 13-0 lead.
They faked the ball to the motion man who was coming to our side of the field. Just a little delay to Cantu after that. He broke through the line and outran the defense, putting the Bearcats up by 13 with the extra point to come.
So Cantu puts down his second touchdown of the night on 2 big runs. Got to see a back for the extra point, and it is good.
And the kick is good.
So with 10:40 in the second quarter,
The Bearcats now lead 14-0.
Rainbow Bearcats lead 14-0.
Well, Lyford's got to get something going before this thing gets out of hand. They've moved the ball a little bit, but penalties and turnovers haven't helped. And Raymondville looks like they're a big play offense tonight. That's 3 long runs, even though one was called back. Armendariz had that 81-yarder, and then Cantu's gone from 45 and from 69.
It just seems to me that Raymondville's running backs are just a 1-2 combo of power and speed. Cantu has that power in his first couple of steps, but once he's in the open field too, there's no catching him. Armendariz will beat you on that first step, and after that, he's gone.
And Cantu is anything but slow.
Exactly. So the Lyford Bulldogs are now set to receive as they are down 14-0. And I'm sure Coach Gonzalez is ready to show what they can do along with his boys. So here we go. Saul Garcia ready for the kickoff. Waiting for that kickoff, number 2, Mark Maruquin. And number 1, Matt Sanchez. And it's up. And it's a nice kickoff. Back to receive. Ball picked up by Sanchez, who's met by a gang of cats on the right side of the field.
Sanchez took the ball at his own 7, advanced it about 20 yards, and that'll set up the Bulldogs with a 1st and 10 at their own 27 with 10:33 left in the half and a 14-point deficit that they need to try and chip away at.
So let's see what Coach Gonzalez is going to come out with. They had a big play opportunity their last drive, but went right through the hands of the receiver. On a game like this, you got to take full advantage of every opportunity that you're given.
Especially when you're playing with your 3rd-string quarterback. You've got to help that kid out as much as you can.
The more catches, the more confidence he'll have, and he's back and throws a fade in the air that comes up a little short. Nunes was looking for number 1, Matt Sanchez, but the throw was just a little bit short.
And the cornerback tried to undercut that route and almost came away with the interception. That was number 35 for Raymondville on the coverage.
And if you're just tuning into our game, I want to remind you that through UAL regulations, we cannot broadcast our game through video. But we will try to give you the best we can with a play-by-play commentary. So stay with us as we give you tonight's game.
Lyford sending 3 receivers out to the left side this time. Another one on the right side.
So we got a trips right. Ball snapped to the quarterback, hands it off to his tailback. Up the middle, but the ball seems to be on the floor, and it looks like it's a fumble. And Rainbow Bearcats recover. Handoff was given to number 22, Devin Mendoza, who on his way down was popped, and the ball pops right out, giving the Bearcats back the ball.
Well, the Bulldogs deep inside their territory. The Bearcats take over 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
So ball on the 28-yard line goes right back to the Bearcats, and let's see if they're going to capitalize
And they waste no time getting up to the line. They're ready to run a play and try and blow this thing open.
Cavazos back for the snap. Cavazos hands it off to his man, Armendariz. Armendariz finds something, cuts back. He's at the 10, the 15, the 10, the 5, and touchdown Armendariz. Armendariz finds a cutback with nobody on the other side and finds his way to the end zone.
Armendariz figured he better get his piece of the action before they put the ball in Cantu's hands again. Because more often than not, Cantu's been going for big gains.
So the 1-2 combo of Cantu and Armendariz is on display tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Got to wonder about the fatigue setting in on the side of the Lyford defense after that 9-minute drive to open the game. Even though Raymondville didn't score, the Bearcats were chasing them around all over the Bulldogs were chasing them around all over the place. And now it seems like they're a step slow as Raymondville's starting to gash them for some big runs.
So we got a flag on the extra point. Looked like a false start on the Bearcats, bringing the extra point back a couple yards. But from what I've seen from Saul Garcia, this is still just a chip shot for him.
Well, if he's kicking 58-yarders, then, yeah, he should be able to drop one in from 25.
Kick is up, and it is good to add to the Bearcat lead. 10:09 left in the first half of play with Raymondville Bearcats 21, the Bulldog 0. So now Coach Gonzalez for the Bulldogs is trying to find some answers. And they're going to try to find any answer they can get, whether it's through the air or on the ground. But I think the Raymondville Bearcat defense is going to be pretty stingy tonight and not give up anything big.
And we'll see what kind of a success the Bulldog offense can have if they need to go into an offense where you know they're going to be passing on just about every down. That Bearcats defensive line may be able to pin their ears back and just really get after the young quarterback Nunez.
So the Bulldogs getting ready to get the ball back. Saul Garcia is ready for the kickoff. Waiting for that kickoff in the backfield, we have number 2, Mark Maruquin, and number 5, Diego Guerra. Saul Garcia is back and ready to kick the ball off. And here we go. And it's a deep one back to the end zone for a touchback. Saul Garcia was an all-state kicker last year. So the kid has a foot, and it may even looking at the collegiate level. I also know that he is a soccer player, so I'm sure his soccer background really gives him a lot of that kicking strength and experience. So Bulldogs get on the field, and they're ready. They say, come on, guys, let's go. Let's get something going. All they need is a little spark. All momentum's on the Bearcat side right now, though, and the Bulldogs are looking to eliminate that and get a little bit of their own. Nunez back in the shotgun. Gets the ball, hands it off to his halfback, who's met right at the line. Mendoza met right at the line by number 52 of the Bearcats, RJ Fuentes. Which he was met for a loss of 1.
Loss of a yard on the play.
Well, the Bulldogs have not abandoned the run game just yet, but there's still plenty of time. 9:45 and counting in the first half and a whole second half to go. So no need to get desperate just yet, but they've got to get something positive out of this drive. They need to get the ball into the Raymondville side of the field and put some points on the board.
Nunez with a snap, finds his halfback, is given and finds a little seam up the right side off of his tackle with a nice little gain of about 7.
And they're still showing confidence in Mendoza. Let's see if he can straighten things out and contribute to the Bulldog offensive attack.
Third down and 3.
So now we have 3rd and about 4.
And these guys could really use a first down at this point. If they turn it back over and have to punt from their own 30, they're going to put their defense in a bind.
I agree with you. This may be a big play right here. Nunez gets the ball, and he's stuffed right, gives his hat back the ball. Mendoza, who is met behind the line of scrimmage quickly by number 11, Dylan Ramirez, number 40, Tomas Zambrano. And the ball is brought back to the 30-yard line for a loss of about 4.
Yeah, Raymondville was having nothing doing with that play. They shut that thing down quick.
Brings up a 4th and 5.
So now the Bulldogs are looking at a 4th and 5. And let's see what Coach Gonzalez decides to do. He's going to go ahead and punt it away.
Oh, he's got to punt. You're deep in your own territory. To turn it over on downs here and give Raymondville another short field.
So Ravian Almendares is back, ready for the punt. Good-looking punt. This looks like it's going to take a slight bounce, but not much. And the ball falls dead at about the 38-yard line. So ball in the Raymondville's 38. As Jared Cavazos and the Big Blue come out. And I'm sure they're hungry to add to their lead.
And it will be 1st and 10.
8 minutes left in the first half of play. Your Raymondville Bearcats 21, your Lyford Bulldogs 0. Cavazos back in the shotgun. Got a 3-receiver set over to the right side. Ball is a low snap. Cavazos picks it up and is trying to make something out of nothing. Finds a seam up the middle. And out of a bad snap, he seems to pick up about 7 yards.
Yeah, not bad for a broken play. He didn't have anybody else in the backfield. He had Cantu and Armendariz in the slot over on the left side, the far side from us. Didn't field the snap cleanly, picked it up and did what he could. 2nd and 3 for Raymondville at their own 45.
So Cavazos waiting for the snap. He has Cantu over to the right side of him. With a trips right. Looking over to the side, finds Armendariz on a pitch out. Armendariz with a spin move. He's at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Rumbles his way all the way to the Bulldogs 7-yard line. Brought it down by Mark Marroquin.
One tackle, and then it was a foot race. This time, Lyford was able to catch up to him before he got in the end zone, but he set them up with a 1st and goal inside the 10.
So
Bearcats
now,
looking for more.
Bearcats inside the 10-yard line, knocking on the door. So let's see what they decide to do. They have a big formation with the receiver out to the right and the left. Ball is handed off to Cantu, who rumbles up the middle for a couple.
Cantu gets the ball down to the 5-yard line, so 2nd and goal for Raymondville coming up.
Gain on the play, 2nd and goal. Ball rested just outside the 5-yard line.
So 2nd and about 7, 2nd and goal.
That big old sophomore number 85, Cantu, is split out wide on our side.
Cavazos stays back, and it's a high throw up to Jason Cantu. Jason Cantu finds the touchdown. Jason Cantu, number 85, sophomore, grabs it up from the air and pulls it down for another 6.
Nice simple throw to the corner of the end zone. Let your big man go up and get it, and he out-wrestled the defender and said, thank you very much, I'll take that for 6.
6'4" sophomore Jason Cantu with the pick and grab up in the air. I'm pretty sure that's some rebound techniques right there as he gets up high and jumps over the DB for 6.
Yeah, that kid's a talented athlete. Good baseball player, good basketball player. I don't know what there is he can't do.
Extra point up, and it's good. Which now gives Raymondville a 28-0 lead with 6:09 left in the first half. So Raymondville now has 4 TDs, 2 by Justin Cantu, 1 by Zaravian Amandades. All those three on big runs by them. And then now a nice pass by Cavazos, who just threw it up in the air, ready for his big receiver just to pick it up and get him 6. And that was Jason Cantu.
After tonight's game and also November 1st game, we're looking for a safe place together after the game. The Bulldogs' 5th quarter, hosted by First United Methodist Church. Everyone is welcome.
So Lyford's still trying to find something to go their way. Raymondville's defense has been stingy, hasn't really given up much, and not giving Lyford much of a chance to get anything going.
Nope, and unfortunately that's becoming a trend.
So here we go. Saul Garcia back for the kickoff with number 5, Diego Guerra, and number 2, Mark Maruquin, ready to receive. High kick over to Guerra. Guerra's looking for a seam, finds something up the left-hand side. The containment brings him back to the middle, and he's brought down. Brought down by number 23 of the Bearcats, Jason Medina.
So Lyford takes over with 6:02 left in the half. Now they're down 4 touchdowns. We'll see if Coach Gonzalez sticks with his game plan or if he starts trying to throw the ball a little more and push the issue. Mendoza still in the backfield with Nunez. Got 2 receivers on each side. Shotgun formation.
Nunez ready for the pitch, the snap, finds it, he gives a pump fake, trying to find his receiver, number 2, Mark Maruquin, but it's incomplete. Thrown just a bit behind. It looks like Raymondville bit on his pump fake, and Maruquin was wide open. The throw was just a little bit behind his receiver.
Yeah, he was able to get a hand on it, but that's about all he was able to do. He couldn't bring it in, and they'll try again with a 2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10, Bulldogs. Nunez gets the play in.
Still in that 4-receiver set.
Waiting for the snap. Maruquin in motion. Ball is handed up to his tailback, who is met immediately. Who's met immediately by number 11, Dylan Ramirez of the Bearcats. Short gain of about 3. Once again, we want to thank you for tuning in to Real Sports Live. Like, share, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
3rd and 7 now for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs. And it looks like they're going to go through the air. Nunez drops back, can't find a receiver. Lots of pressure being put on him as he's taken down for a sack.
Yeah, Nunez dropped for a 7-yard loss there, and Lyford's going to be forced to punt again. Looks like Raymondville's going to get another opportunity to put some more points on the board before we go in for a halftime intermission.
Victor Oviedo and Andrew Cervantes were back there sharing that sack on Nunez. So now Lyford is back in a 4th and 12, and they're going to punt the ball away. Raymondville's Armendariz is back waiting for the punt.
Guerra with the punt.
Guerra gets a good punt off, and let's see if Armendariz fields it or lets it go. Punt falls short, well short ahead of Armendariz, and Lyford go ahead and downs the ball. So Raymondville will get the ball back about the midfield.
4.5 minutes left in the first half, and the Bearcats will take over 52 yards away from another score. Lyford's got to get a stop here. They've got to get a stop, get the ball back, and get something going before halftime so they've got something good to talk about. They've got, a couple of turnovers in this half. They had a drop ball when the receiver was wide open and had daylight in front of him. They need something good to happen to them like nobody's business.
So the chains are being moved.
They're marking off 15 yards against Raymondville. That's going to take the ball back to the 33. So it looks like we got another major infraction against the Bearcats on the punt return.
I don't have the stats or yards on the number of yards on penalties, but I guarantee you it's almost close to 100, if not over 100 already.
There have been more laundry than my college freshman brings home from Austin every other weekend. I'll tell you that much.
Ball handed off over to number 13. Make that back. That's number 2.
And he's horse-collared, brought to the ground, but that one may come back. There's a flag down over here at the 33.
Man in
it's
motion.
a hold against Raymondville, so that one's coming back.
Man in motion was number 12, Nathan Munguia, who had a nice run up the left side of the field, but it's being brought back on a holding call against Raymondville.
That's about the only thing that slowed Raymondville down this evening is those penalties. You know, we had that early altercation that fortunately didn't get ugly and didn't keep going. Kids are playing hard on both sides, and mistakes are being made. We're still getting some holds, you know, and unsportsmanlike every now and then. But we can only hope that we get a clean game for the last 4 minutes of this half and the second.
So 1st and 23 for the Bearcats on their 23-yard line. Cavazos back, got a man in motion. Cavazos gets the snap, he comes back, he's looking for a receiver. He finds somebody on a screen pass, that's number 85, Jason Cantu, who picks up a nice little pitch and catch. But there are flags in the backfield.
Well, regardless of whether this play stands or not, it was a nice looking pass. Cantu just dragged across the field as the quarterback was being chased by a couple of Lyford defenders, and just about as they were to get to him, he dumped it off, and Cantu turned it into a nice gain.
And that was a roughing the passer call against the Bulldogs, which will get Cantu's gain and then some.
So that brings the ball up to the 49, which is just 1 yard past the 48 where this possession originally started. So penalties both ways and a nice catch by Cantu, and we're pretty much back to square one with about 4 minutes left in the half.
So 1st and 10 on the Bearcat 48-yard line. Cavazos is back in shotgun with a trips right. Armendariz now in the motion, giving over to Armendariz, who's finding a side, who's on the 35-yard line, and he slips and falls. If he would have stayed on his feet, I promise you that would have been a bigger gain.
Yeah, he was looking to cut back one more time right about the 32 and stuck his foot into a soft spot in the turf and went down. But there's flags down on that side of the field as well. Let's see what this one's all about.
That has picked up 16 yards on the play.
And it's a hold on the Bearcat offense.
17.
On Armendariz' gain of 17 is being called back on a hold by the Bearcats. I guarantee you Armendariz is not happy in that hold. That's 2 big runs for him being called back.
But I think the Bearcats are confident that they can get the ball out on the perimeter, and the skill of Armendariz and Cantu will just make something happen.
So it's a 1st and 1 for the Bearcats. Cavazos back in the shotgun. Whistles are blown. And we're going to see what's going on here now. Officials having a meeting, trying to straighten things out. And I guess the officials just needed to clear things up. So we're back here now, replaying that 1st and 1. Cavazos back in the shotgun. He has a trips right with a lone receiver over to the left.
Another
and
flag.
There's a flag.
Only seen a few of these tonight. Another flag. Legal procedure.
As the PA announcer casually mentions that we've seen a few of those talking about the flags.
Just a few. And it's against the Bearcats. Looked like it was a legal motion. And so it's brought back 5. So Bearcats have the ball, 1st and 6. Cavazos back in the shotgun with twin sets on both sides, looking deep, finds a man downfield, and the ball is picked off by number 18 of the Bulldogs. 18 by the Bulldogs, and he's found himself some room to run up the left-hand side. He's at the 50, on the 40, and taken out of bounds at the Bulldog 38-yard line. That was number 18 for the Bulldogs. We don't have a name for him, but number 18 for the Bulldogs, who finds the ball up in the air, thrown by Cavazos, and he gets the interception.
So he picked it off at his own 18 and took that ball 44 yards into Raymondville territory at the 38. And that's that break we've been talking about that Lyford needs to get. Now they've got to capitalize. They've got 3 minutes left. In these next 3 minutes, if they can make something positive happen, they can go in there at halftime and actually believe they've got a decent shot at coming back in this thing. Because, you know, every coach in this game will take his kids at halftime and say, we got a shot, we got a shot. But it's getting the kids to believe that is what coaching is all about.
Well, Raymondville's Cavazos was looking for big receiver Jason Cantu, but the ball was just left in the air a little too long. And that's when the Bulldog DB found it up and got it. So Nunez back, he's finding someone deep, he's looking down the field and thrown up in the air, and it's an interception by the Bearcats. Intercepted by number 8, Justin Smith of the Bearcats.
It kind of looks like that ball hung up in the air a little longer than Nunez would have liked.
Nunez was looking for Diego Guerra, and once again, just kind of like Cavazos' throw to Cantu, same thing here. The ball was just floated in the air, waiting for somebody to pick it.
And the DB was there, and he picked it and didn't let go.
And once again, that was number 8, Justin Smith, with an interception. So the Bearcats get the ball back on their 25-yard line with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in first half of play. So we have a trips right with Cavazos back in the shotgun. Ball's hand off to Justin Cantu, who follows the block, and he's finding some room up the middle. He's on the 35-yard line, up to the 48 with a shoestring tackle by number 10 of the Bulldogs, Brandon Nunez.
The last couple of defensive plays for Lyford, they've sent guys from the secondary up to the line of scrimmage to blitz, and that's going to get dangerous if Raymondville figures that out, because it doesn't take much for either 13 or 7, Cantu or Armendariz, to break a tackle, and if they get into daylight and there's nobody in the secondary, they're going to go for big yards.
Cavazos back in shotgun. Has a twin set over to the right with one lone receiver to the left. Looking for his halfback, Armendariz. The handoff to Armendariz, who is met at the line by the gang green, led by number 50, number 58, John Hernandez, who makes sure Armendariz doesn't get much there.
And once again, Lyford brought additional pressure at the line of scrimmage. This time it was number 12 coming out of the linebacker spot.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
So no gain, we got 2nd and 10 with 1:35 left in the first half of football. If you're just getting in with us, we got the Raymondville Bearcats 28, the Lyford Bulldogs 0, and Raymondville's gonna try to get something before the end of this half. We have a flag on the play. Looks like a false start.
Another flag on the play against the Bearcats.
Illegal procedure on the Bearcats, which will take them back 5.
5 yards stepped off, 2nd and 15. Ball now at the 43-yard line.
Cavazos back in the shotgun. Has a trips right. Oh, that's a wildcat. That's Justin Cantu, who took the direct snap. Finds himself some tough running yards up to the left-hand side of the field. Pushed out of bounds, but not before he picked up about 8. So going out of bounds stops the clock at 1:02 left in the first half. Ball on Lyford's 45-yard line.
3rd down and 3 for the Bearcats.
So now looking at 3rd and 3 with 1:02 left in the first half. Cavazos signals the call in, and the Bearcats are lined up. Cavazos back in the shotgun. Armendariz now in motion. Hand off to Armendariz, who hooks around to the left-hand side, picks up the first down and about 6 yards.
Time, but not before he picks up another Bearcat first down. As we get inside 1 minute to go in the half.
Raymondville decides to call a timeout with 51 seconds left in the first half. Plenty of action going around this Friday night in the Valley. But the action all here has been all Raymondville. We have the running styles of Cantu, Justin Cantu, and Zaravian Abandades, who have gone off tonight for some big touchdown runs. And then the nice pass to Jason Cantu in the end zone to give Raymondville a 28-0 lead.
The Band Booster Club welcomes you to their concession stand with lots of goodies. Fajita tacos, sausage wraps, hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, nachos, all the good stuff.
So plenty of action, like I said. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Real Sports Live. Coming to you live from the Cotton Bowl in Lyford, Texas. Bearcats all ready. Cavazos back in the shotgun. Cavazos finds Cantu, Jason Cantu on a tight end screen. Jason Cantu rumbles up the yards. Picks up a nice gain of about 8. So Jason Cantu right now has been Cavazos' favorite target, and I don't blame him. Standing at 6'4", big body, good soft hands.
Good sized target.
So it's a Raymondville first down. Cavazos back in shotgun, waiting for the ball. Gets the snap, he drops back. He's looking for somebody, but decides to pull back, pull the ball down and run it himself. Finds a nice seam up the left side for a gain of about 9.
So 10 seconds left. The clock is stopped and Raymondville takes a timeout.
Called by the Bearcats with 10 seconds.
That's their final timeout, so let's see what they do to try and get in the end zone here in the last 10 seconds.
Let's see if Coach Cantu tries to go for it for 6 or if he settles for a field goal. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know we have lots of people tuning in from Willacy County, Raymondville, Lyford, La Sada, and San Perlita, but I know all over the valley and all over Texas, we have people in alum, whether you're rooting for the blue and gold or for the green and gold, we're glad that you're with us on Real Sports Live. If anybody's still looking for the game, please like, share, comment. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Real Sports Live.
Second down and 1.
So we have a 2nd and 1. Bearcat ball with 10 seconds left in the first half, and they're going to try to get something going with 10 seconds. So Cavazos is back in the shotgun with a trips left. He's rolling to the left-hand side looking for a receiver, but he's being chased. He finds a receiver, but it's down on the ground. It's incomplete.
Intercepted by Lyford.
But looks like number 22 from the Bulldogs, Devin Mendoza, picked it up off the ground before it hit the ground. So the officials call it an interception by the Bulldogs.
So Mendoza with a big play for Lyford, keeping the Bearcats out of the end zone and allowing them to run this last play to get them into the locker room at halftime and try and regroup.
So what looked like an incomplete pass because it went low, Mendoza for the Bulldogs does a great job getting his hands underneath it for the interception. So with 2 seconds left in the first half, Lyford gets the ball back. Raymondville's playing deep, not going to give up a deep ball. And it's a handoff back to their halfback as time expires. Running to get those little yards, but met by number 8 of the Bearcats, Justin Smith. And that'll be the last play of the first half here in Lyford, Texas. With the Rainbow Bearcats 28, the Lyford Bulldogs 0. So going into halftime, this has been a game of big plays by the Bearcats, but the biggest story of tonight has been the penalties. We've seen at least over 100 yards of penalties on the Bearcats, and Lyford's not too far behind. Game needs to be cleaned up, and I promise you we're going to be looking at a much different score. But let's look at scores around the valley. Over at Edinburgh Vela, McCallum Memorial 19, Edinburgh Vela 6. La Jolla Palmview 13, Brownsville Porter 0. PSJ North 7, Westlaco High 0. Sherryland Pioneer right now over Mission High 35-14. Rio Hondo 28, St. Joe 12. Sherryland 7, La Jolla 0. Valley View down to Brownsville Rivera 14-0. We got a tight one over in Los Fresnos. Ed Couch 6, Los Fresnos 7. In La Villa, La Villa 12, Santa Rosa 20. Hidalgo 21, PI 7. And La Feria is up on Mercedes 14-10 at half. Once again, this is Real Sports Live coming to you from Lyford, Texas, with the Raymondville Bearcats up on Lyford 28-0. We'll be back after a break.
Hi, we're the Lady Diamondbacks, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services. Fishing fans, here's your chance to catch some fish and help out athletes at the same time. Mark the calendar now and plan on attending October 20th as the 3-Up, 3-Down San Perlita Booster Club Fishing Tournament looks to be the biggest and best yet. Located at Laguna Madre Baits in Port Mansfield, Texas, this tournament is set to provide 100% of the proceeds directly to the athletic programs. Artificial lures only with a blackjack format, no fish over 21 inches, $150 per team or boat, maximum 4 people, and the grand champion is a team closest to 63 inches with 1 red trout and 1 flounder. Food raffles, baked goods, a silent auction, and terrific prizes from some great sponsors. Registration is October 19th. The tournament is October 20th. See you there at the 3-Up, 3-Down Fishing Tournament in Port Mansfield, where catching fish is helping athletes in a big, big way.
Hi, I'm Coach Nava with Westlaco East High School. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Hi, we're PSJ Lady Bears, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Go!
The kids are headed back to school. It's time to get internet from VTX1. VTX1 Companies offers fast and reliable internet throughout the Rio Grande Valley, even to some of the most remote areas. For a limited time only, get your standard installation at no cost to you. Start the school year off with a service provider you can trust by calling 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Hi, we're the Lady Wildcats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
When in Port Mansfield, be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats, Laguna Madre Baits. 828 Westport Drive, Fort Mansfield, Texas.
Hi, we're Ranger Cougars, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the prices? It's a Hacienda party.
It's football season at Hacienda Ford, and you can get a new Ford Expedition with 20-inch wheels, leather, navigation, and more for $12,000 off MSRP.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My Hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Hi, we're DJ Southwest Alameda, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services. Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
Hi, we're the Edinburgh Bobcats. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
Superintendent of Schools is Mr. Stetson Roan. Thank you and have a good night.
I want to welcome you back to Lyford Stadium in Lyford, Texas, where the Bulldogs are falling behind to the Bearcats 28-0. And let's just recap our first half really quickly here. We've seen plenty of action and plenty of big plays on the Bearcats side of the ball. 2 long touchdown runs by Justin Cantu, 1 long touchdown run by Zoravian Armendariz, and a nice pass by quarterback Cavazos over to big wide receiver Jason Cantu, which brings the Bearcats 28-0. But one of the bigger stories in the first half has been one of penalties. Both teams being haunted by penalties. We've had dirty laundry all over the floor tonight with those yellow hankies. What do you think about that, Mr. Pena?
Well, we talked early about kids coming out and playing with emotion, but, you know, there's been occasions where they've gotten a little carried away, and you know, that's gone proven by the amount of penalties that we've seen. A lot of mental errors, pre-snap penalties, those emotion penalties, the unsportsmanlike conduct, the unnecessary roughness. The other thing for Lyford on the offensive end is missed opportunities. Talking about 2 fumbles and a dropped pass by a receiver that was wide open and had a lot of daylight in front of him. And, you know, when you've got a sophomore quarterback that's starting, I'm going to assume starting his first varsity game, that guy needs some help. And he's shown good composure. You know, he's been off on a pass or 2, but he hasn't been rattled. So credit him for that and see if he can come back and lead this team to a couple of scores and get him back in the game.
You know, there's still a lot of football to play, and anything can happen in the game of football. So nothing's ever over. Nothing is ever over. One thing that I do want to bring up is we want to thank y'all for tuning in to Rio Sports Live. I know we've got a lot of comments asking about, are we just giving the audio feed of tonight's game? And the answer is yes. Through UIL regulations, we cannot broadcast a live video feed of Friday night football. But we can give you the best that we can through audio. We've also had plenty of viewers coming in, giving us locations of where they've been watching the game from. We have people from Arkansas tune in to our YouTube channel, and please spread the word. Just because you're not here at the game doesn't mean that you can't stay with us. We have alum from Raymondville, we got alum from Lyford, and we got fans from all over the valley tuning in for a spectacular game. The only thing is, it's a little lopsided right now. So we're going to see what comes up in the second half and see if Lyford can put something on the board. I'm sure Coach Gonzalez is in that locker room right now, getting them fired up and giving them every bit of motivation that he can. I know Coach Gonzalez is a fired-up guy. He comes in with a lot of passion that he embeds into his players. So I am sure, and I'm almost more than positive, that Lyford's going to come out and be hungry. And on the counter end of that, Coach Cantu over on the Raymondville side is going to keep his boys humble. He's going to say, continue doing what you're doing. Our game plan is working, and they're going to keep continuing trying to build off and continue this lead and open it up even more if they can.
Yeah, steady dose of Cantu and Armendariz out of the backfield, I would imagine. And you've seen it. They've broken some for big runs. Mix in the passing game. They've thrown a couple of times to the tight end, the sophomore Jason Cantu, and had success with that as well.
So we got about under 14 minutes left of halftime. We'll be back after this.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Hi, we're Robert Mello's Lyford Cats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Everyone's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2 in Harlingen. Choose from a wide selection and score big today on West Expressway 83.
Right now, how about this 2015 Chrysler 300S model with a Beat stereo, leather interior, navigation, $57,000, reduced today, $19,999. Or a 2012 Ram 1500, a Lone Star package, 5.7 Hemi engine, a towing package, automatic, $16,499. Or how about a diamond in the rough, 1998 Dodge 3500 dually with a fifth wheel, 4x4, power everything, heavy duty bumper, $14,999.
Financing is available with lending for all types. Every deal's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2, in business since 2002, Harlingen, Texas.
Men, start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you.
Update on some scores. Once again, back in Lyford, Texas for the 2019 Sugar Cotton Bowl. And people sometimes ask, why is it called the Cotton Bowl? Mr. Pena, do you have an answer for that?
Well, just look around the fields and you see that white snow that we get around here in the summer and fall.
White snow, white gold, whatever you want to call it. Just look around and you will see fields of white cotton everywhere. Well, anywhere in Willacy County you look around, you're going to find some field of cotton. So they call this, and they've labeled this, the Cotton Bowl, which is a game between the Raymondville Bearcats and the Lyford Bulldogs. For a while it was called the Thrilla and Willa. The Thrilla in Willacy County. I promise you, it was called that for a while.
By how many other than yourself?
Well, it's snazzy anyway. So now it is coined the Cotton Bowl, and your Raymondville Bearcats up 28-0. I wanted to look at some other scores around the valley. At halftime, McCallum Memorial up 19-6 over Vela. Third quarter, Palmview 13, Brownsville Porter 0. Third quarter over at Westaco, PSGA North 7, Westaco High 7. Halftime at Sherryland, Pioneer with Mission 14, Pioneer 35. Progresso up on Santa Gratuitous in the second, 14-0. At halftime at St. Joe, Rio Hondo 28, St. Joe 12. Sherryland over right now on top of La Jolla, 7-0. Halftime over at Brownsville Rivera, Valley View 0, Brownsville Rivera 21. We got a good one going on in Los Fresnos. Ed Couch up on Los Fresnos 28-14 at the half. In Santa Rosa, La Villa 12, Santa Rosa 20 at halftime. PI is down to Hidalgo 7-21 at halftime. Mercedes and La Feria has a tight one at half. Mercedes 10, La Feria 14. At Rio Grande City, Brownsville Lopez 0, Rio Grande City 21 in the second quarter. So lots of games going on today. Big one going on over at Converse Judson as Harlingen High traveled to Converse Judson in San Antonio. Harlingen High down 26-0. San Benito over PSJA High 34-13. And we got lots going on in the Valley. And we're about 7 minutes away from picking up here at Lyford, Texas for the second half of play. And we'll see what both teams are going to decide to do. Like I said earlier, I know Coach Izzy Gonzalez has his boys fired up, has them hungry, and they want it. They want it. They just haven't been able to capitalize, or they just haven't been able to get through that stingy, mean Raymondville Bearcat defense.
Yeah, everybody wants it. Nobody wants to walk out of this thing and go home and have to listen to the other guys tell them for the next year till they meet again, hey, we won the Cotton Bowl this year. That's understandable. And the way these kids on both sides came out, aggressive, playing to the whistle and through the whistle is indicative of that. Lyford's going to get the ball to start the second half. Remember, they won the opening toss and deferred, but then they were on the field for 9 minutes, and although Raymondville wound up not getting any points and missing a field goal at the end of that 9-minute drive, that had to take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the Lyford defense, and they've been playing catch-up ever since. You know, after that 9-minute drive, we had that altercation over here at the 40-yard line right in front of us, and things got a little chippy, and they haven't quieted down much from that standpoint. Like I said, a lot of penalties, some mistakes and missed opportunities on the Lyford side of the ball that maybe could have made this be a little closer game. But as you said, a lot of time, 24 minutes of play in the second half, and you know, there's still time for Lyford to get back in this thing, but they've got to come out and get something positive on that first drive.
So some highlights over from the first half. Most of the highlights have come from Raymondville, except for 2 interceptions by the Bulldogs. But the scoring for Raymondville comes from a 28-yard run by Zaravian Amadades. We have 2 long touchdown runs by Justin Cantu, a 45-yard touchdown and a 69-yard touchdown run by Justin Cantu. And then we had a nice pass of about a 30-yard pass to Jason Cantu over at the back pylon. So either way, that's what brought us to 28-0. We have 5 minutes left in halftime, and we'll be back.
Stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Hi, we're Sherryland Rattlers, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Hi, we're PSJ Southwest Javelina, us. And thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Jay's up!
When in Port Mansfield, be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits, caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats. Laguna Madre Baits, 828 Westport Drive, Port Mansfield, Texas.
The kids are headed back to school. It's time to get internet from VTX1. VTX1 Companies offers fast and reliable internet throughout the Rio Grande Valley, even to some of the most remote areas. For a limited time only, get your standard installation at no cost to you. Start the school year off with a service provider you can trust by calling 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito. Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Local.
We want to welcome you back to Lyford, Texas at Lyford Bulldog Stadium. This is Marco Munguia and Mr. Albert Pena calling for Real Sports Live at the 2019 Cotton Bowl with your Lyford Bulldogs and your Raymondville Bearcats. Score going into the second half of play, Raymondville Bearcats 28, Lyford Bulldogs 0. We're about a minute away from the second half, and I'm sure we're gonna see some big things coming out here in the second half. What do you think, Mr. Pena?
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope the officials are able to keep the flags in their pockets and we get a good, hard played second half, and may the better team win, as they say.
Well, right now, I mean, from the first half of football, the Rainbow Bearcats look like the better team.
They have been the better team. They've, with the exception of those penalties, made fewer mistakes. They've got the bigger plays, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So both teams getting ready to come out to start the second half of football. And we got a full moon on Friday the 13th.
Full moon, and some of these kids beneath us have been howling the whole first half.
Well, that's, you know, as superstitions as myths say, that full moon and Friday the 13th, everyone's getting a little rowdy tonight. And looking at the play between both teams and all the flags that we've had on the play for unsportsmanlike penalties, I can almost say that's not a myth. That's true.
Well, let's see if the Lyford student section that's in front of us to the left is able to maintain their enthusiasm. It's kind of hard to stay engaged in a game when the score is as it is right now, but a big play or two by the home team, and these guys will get back in it. Really, really glad to see that nobody's left the stadium yet. That'll happen a lot of times at halftime if when the score's like it is. But, you know, this is a rivalry game, and they're going to stick around and get their $6 worth, I suppose.
Well, I know we're over here on top of the press box on the Lyford side, and like you said, no Lyford Bulldog fan has left yet. There's still a lot of belief in their team that they're going to come out and make this a game.
There come the Bulldogs, there come the streamers, the smoke bombs, the noisemakers. So These Lyford High School students over here, they're ready for some football.
And we're just about ready to get this second half of football underway. Once again, this is Real Sports Live. Please like, share, email, tweet, put it out there. We're live from Real Sports Live, giving you the second half of your 2019 Cotton Bowl.
Raymondville's going to be kicking off from the north end as Lyford sets up to receive over on the south side. The wind has shifted a little bit. It's still coming out of the east, but more of a direct east than the south-southeast that we had at the beginning of the game. It's cooling down a little bit as well. That feels nice because it was kind of warm a little earlier.
So we want to give a shout out to our cameraman Eddie, who's giving us some video feed, but that'll be for highlights later on. I also want to explain to those that are just tuning in that through UIL regulations, we cannot show a video feed for Friday Night Football, but we're going to give you the best that we can through play-by-play audio. And we are underway for the second half. Saul Garcia kicks off, received by number 5 for the Bulldogs, Diego Guerra, who's immediately met at the 20-yard line by Raymondville's number 4, Samuel Gomez. So let's see what Coach Gonzalez has drawn up for his boys, and let's see what kind of adjustments they're going to make here on the offensive side of the ball.
And let's see Brandon Nunez, now that he's got a half of football under his belt, see if he can settle down and be a little more crisp on his delivery and more accurate with his passes. And then let's see if his teammates can help him out by actually cradling those things and bringing them in.
So Nunez back in shotgun at a spread formation, has one back next to him, ready for the snap. Ball is snapped, gives it immediately to his halfback, who has a nice little run up the middle, picks up a gain of about 6.
That's Mendoza again. He's been their workhorse out of the backfield.
Number 22, Devin Mendoza, Jr., who's been chipping away for every yard that he can get. Looking at a 2nd and 5 now for the Bulldogs. Nunez back in shotgun, gets the snap, looking for a receiver, looks for a high fade. Cannot connect to number 1, Matt Sanchez. And Nunez is hit pretty hard after the throw.
And this has got to be the last thing that Lyford wanted to see, is their third-string quarterback hobbled. He's kind of limping off over here. He's going to come off to the sideline, and be interesting to see who's next man up for the Bulldogs.
Well, as I told you pregame about Lyford, they've taken the hit of the injury bug. Their star quarterback, Caleb Klosterman, broke his collarbone in week 1. And then they had their backup quarterback, Abel Gonzalez, come in and get injured in week 2. So that gave us Brandon Nunez, the third-string quarterback, to start week 3. But he just came off the field a little hobbled.
Now they are marking off a roughing the passer penalty against Raymondville. Looks like number 15's the quarterback now.
15 pulls the ball down, decides to run it himself, has himself a nice little gain up the right side of the field. A little end around by number 15. I don't have a name for 15 on the roster, but his first little run looks good for a gain of 7.
And that'll tell you that the Bulldogs are down men due to injuries when their backup quarterback for this game, their 4th quarterback of the year, is not listed on the roster that's provided to the press.
So number 15 for the Bulldogs, waiting for the call to come in.
Maybe one of our fans out there in Facebook land can tell us who number 15 is so we can give him proper credit as he proceeds through this game.
Snap to number 15 for the QB keeper, tries to go up the middle, doesn't get much. Met by the big boys on the D-line for the Raymondville Bearcats. Number 66, Jose Guajardo, and middle linebacker, number 40, Tomas Zambrano. (15) back in shotgun formation with Mendoza to his side. Got a spread set. Got the snap, rolling out to the right, decides to pull it down and goes for a run. He's got a little room to run. He's at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. Still got room, taken down at the Bearcat 15. Big gain by number 15 of the Lyford Bulldogs.
Well, this mystery man has come in and provided a spark for the Bulldogs. He's got them in the red zone, and we're checking with all our resources to see if we can get a name on this kid. As I said, we don't want to just keep referring to him as number 15.
He's a freshman.
Freshman.
They call him Cuate because he's got a twin brother on the team.
We're told he's a freshman. They call him, he goes by the name of Cuate because he's got a twin brother on the quarterback, number 15, for a gain of about 35. Getting into Raymondville territory. Ball now on Raymondville's 14.
I think I may have heard the PA announcer refer to him as Martinez.
Martinez pulls the ball, gets a snap. He runs to the left side of the field, finds himself on the 10-yard line, the 5. He's still on his feet. He's running some more and gets all the way down to the 2-yard line. Kid is running tough, and this could be the spark that Lyford Bulldogs have been looking for.
Well, this kid doesn't know any better. He's just going to get in there and run the plays as they're called. And he's brought a much-needed spark, not only to this Lyford Bulldog team, but to this Lyford Bulldog crowd.
Yes.
And they're a couple of yards away from pay dirt.
And that was number 15, and we got a name. We got Martinez, freshman. Number 15, Martinez, gets himself some tough running yards, and he's out. They're knocking on the door now. The ball on the 2-yard line, Raymondville's 2-yard line. Let's see what they decide to do. Martinez pulls the ball back again, tries to get up the middle, but is met immediately by number 11, Dylan Ramirez. And a loss of about 2. Want to remind our viewers, through UAL regulations, we cannot show a live video broadcast on Friday night games, but we're going to do our best to give you play-by-play through audio. So stay with us. Lyford Bulldogs on the 4-yard line, trying to find pay dirt now. Martinez pulls the ball down, tries to keep it himself, tries to get the end around on the right side of the field. He's still up on the field. He's shaking off a couple of hitters, and he doesn't want to go down. So he tries to get himself a couple more yards, but ends up losing yards. So as a freshman coming in there, the kid's just playing as hard as he can. He's trying to get every yard that he can, but instead of running north to south, he starts running east to west. Doesn't want to go down, so he just loses yards on that play. So ball comes back from the, it went from the 2-yard line to the 3-yard line, now back to the 9-yard line, and we're looking at 3rd and goal for the Lyford Bulldogs.
And we're getting some of our Facebook viewers telling us that the young man's name is Osmar Martinez.
Osmar Martinez. Man in motion for the Bulldogs. Martinez rolls around to the left, finds himself a receiver, but the throw is short.
All right, what do you do here, Coach? You really need 7.
Here we go.
Or do you settle for points?
I think Coach Gonzalez is going to go 4th and goal for the Bulldogs. But I'm going to say Coach Gonzalez wants to look for 6.
Yeah, because if you kick a field goal, you still need 4 scores to catch up. That doesn't do a whole lot for you. Now, if the Bearcat defense holds them, then that's gonna really deflate this crowd and this Lyford Bulldog team. But Martinez has come in and given them a great spark. But like I said, he's just in there running plays. You know, no telling what kind of reps he's had with the first team. Nothing like that. I'm sure that they weren't expecting him to get into this game. But, hey, that's what happens. Next man up.
And that's probably the mentality of the Bulldogs. I think that's what they do. Hey, when it's your time, take full advantage. And that's exactly what Martinez is doing. He's saying, hey, Coach, I may be a freshman, but give me the ball.
And they probably had to come in with that mentality anyway, starting Nunez, their 3rd-string quarterback, who's over here on the sidelines trying to help get the crowd fired up. Walking around okay. Don't know if he's going to be coming back in or not, though.
So here come the Bulldogs. They're going for it on 4th and goal. Martinez back in shotgun with Mendoza to the left side of him with a spread receiver set. Ball is back. He finds himself the receiver. He's looking for number 2, but there's a flag on the play. Looking at pass interference on the Bulldogs. Martinez was looking for number 2, Mark Marroquin, over here on the right side of the field.
Yeah, the defender got there early and pushed off, made contact, and he was asking the ref, what did I do, what did I do? But yeah, he was there a little early. He's gonna pay for that one, and that's gonna give Lyford new life as they come over to the sidelines and got another player being attended to over there at the 10-yard line on the far side.
So number 15, Osmar Martinez, known as Cuate, I guess he has a twin brother on the team, has come in, gave the Lyford Bulldogs some life and the spark that they may need to get a little something going here. It's been flat on the Lyford Bulldog offense until now, and now Lyford is knocking on the door. Now with that pass interference, the ball's on the 1-yard line, Rainbow's 1-yard line, and gives Lyford a fresh set of downs. Once again, if you're just tuning into our game, I want to remind our viewers that Friday Night Lights is only allowed to give us audio broadcast of tonight's game. We are doing a video feed. We are doing a video feed of today, but we'll get highlights about an hour after the game is done. That is a UIL regulation, once again, ladies and gentlemen, but we thank you for tuning in and listening to our game play-by-play. So here we go. Martinez in a shotgun formation with Mendoza to his right. Martinez pulls the ball down, tries to look for something inside himself on a QB sneak, but is met immediately by the D-line of the Rainbow Bearcats, led by number 66, Jose Guajardo.
Yeah, Martinez is going to lose a yard or two on that one. It's going to go back to the 3-yard line, but they've still got a couple of chances to pop it in. They've kept the ball almost 6 minutes of this third quarter. They've got to get something out of this drive.
So 2nd and goal for the Lyford Bulldogs. They now have a trips right with Mendoza over to the left. Martinez finds a gap up the middle, and he's in the end zone. He finds the end zone, ladies and gentlemen. But there is a flag on the play, and it is a holding call against the Bulldogs, which will bring the ball back.
And another mistake that's costing these Bulldogs an opportunity to get back in this game. Martinez punched it in, but a hold was called. That's going to bring the ball back to the 13-yard line.
So ball brought back to the 13-yard line on that holding call.
And Nunez has just rejoined the huddle for Lyford.
So Nunez back in the game under center, actually in the shotgun, waiting for the snap. Let's see if Nunez takes the lead here. Nunez rolling out to his right. He pulls up, looking for his tight end, but it's thrown and it's intercepted. Intercepted by the Bearcats, but the ball is down and it's a fumble. So Nunez comes back in the game with a play-action pass, looking for number 2, Marroquin, but the ball is thrown right into the hands of the Raymondville Bearcats, and it's an interception by number 35 of the Bearcats, J.J. Rojas.
Rojas fumbled it at the end of the play, but he was able to pounce back on it. And Raymondville takes over at their own 8.
So Bearcats get the ball back on the interception. And let's see what Rainbow says now. Lyford's momentum was going so strong. They had opportunities, and they just couldn't complete the series. Ball handed off now to Zaravian Amadades, who hooks around the right-hand side, picks up about 7.
That's a play we saw a lot of in the first half. He came around from the left flanker spot and took that little pitch sweep, ran it to the right side, and as you said, tried to get back in the middle of the field. Picked up 7 yards and sets him up with a 2nd and 3, and that's what they did the whole first half, because all it takes for Armendariz or Cantu is one missed tackle, and those guys, they feel it.
Cavazos back in the shotgun, gives the ball off to his tailback, Justin Cantu. Justin Cantu's finding some room to run. He's on the 45-yard line to the 50, to the 45 of Lyford. Big run by Justin Cantu for a gain of about 40.
Yeah, Cantu got into the open field, and right about his own 45, he did a little stutter step and put a move on the Lyford defender and got him an extra 15 yards out of that, bringing the ball to the 41-yard line in Lyford territory.
4:50 into the third quarter. Justin Cantu just reels off a nice little run to get the ball all the way to Lyford's 41-yard line. Bearcats waiting for the call from the sideline. The call comes in. Number 1, Cavazos, calls the play out. Snap is good. Given right back to Justin Cantu, who's finding some room up to run up the middle. He zigs and he zags for about a gain of 8.
He picked up about 9 yards on that run. Second 8, second and 2.
So Raymondville's going to be content to stay with the running game, take some time off the clock, low-risk plays, and high reward with those two guys that they've been handing the ball off to.
3:55 in the third. Cavazos ready for the snap. The snap is back. Gives the ball right back to Armendariz. Armendariz is looking up the left side of the field. He's on the 25, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Armendariz.
Another broken tackle there at the 25. Lyford had a chance to bring him down, and he slipped through, and 25 yards later, it's 34-0. 3:41 left in the third quarter, and Raymondville's going to be looking to make it 35. Got a Bearcat hobbling off the field over there on the far side. Replacement sprinting in.
So
looks like one of the linemen.
Armendariz goes for about a 25-yard touchdown on the left side of the field. And like we just said, shook off a couple of Lyford defenders. And the strength and speed of Armendariz was just too much. Saul Garcia now for the extra point. Snap, hold, it's up. And it is good. Which will give Raymondville a 35-0 lead with 3:40 in the third quarter. So 3:41 in the third. Rainbow Bearcats up 35-0. Lyford Bulldogs trying to find something to go their way. But everything tonight's going Raymondville.
And the sledding's not going to get any easier, as the clock definitely a factor now. Just under 16 minutes left in the contest, and they need 5 scores. So you do the math. They've got to score quickly and often.
So Lyford back now, ready to receive the kickoff from Raymondville. And tonight, Raymondville scores. Cantu has 2 touchdowns, Armendariz has 2 touchdowns, and Jason Cantu with 1 receiving touchdown. So Raymondville is definitely using every weapon that they have offensively, and their defense has just done a staggering job against the Lyford offense.
Yeah, they've answered the call every time.
And it's a beauty of a kickoff that hits to the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
The Raymondville defense has made a couple of stands deep in their own territory. They've come up with turnovers at opportune times or inopportune times from the Lyford standpoint. A little over-aggressive with some of those penalties, but you know, that's gone both ways tonight. They're not the only ones guilty of that infraction.
Well, they've come up with 2 interceptions and 1 fumble recovery. So their nose is on the ball, and they haven't given up much except that big run by 4th-string quarterback that came in, Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez provided a little bit of a boost for the offense, but they weren't able to convert. in the end.
Ball handed
and
off.
Looks like he may be back in at quarterback. Martinez is number 15. He's replaced Nunez again. Don't know if that's an injury situation or just a coach's decision, maybe trying to get a little something different going on offense.
So Asmar Martinez is now calling the plays and leading the charge for the Bulldogs. Back in the spread formation, hands off the ball to his halfback, Mendoza, who's trying to get any little thing that he can get, and taken down immediately at the line of scrimmage by number 72 for the Bearcats, Jaden Galvan. 3rd and 11 now for the Bulldogs.
And they continue going to Mendoza out of the backfield. Obviously, Coach Gonzalez has a lot of faith in that young man. You know, he's had his ups and downs, but he's still getting the ball for Lyford.
So here we go, Martinez in the shotgun, rolling to his left, looking for a man, finds somebody, but nothing. Thought he had a receiver, but no one was there for an incompletion.
So a quick 3 and out for Lyford as we approach the 2-minute mark in the third quarter.
So 4th and 11, and Lyford is going to kick off, going to punt away. Waiting for that punt is number 8, junior Justin Smith. Looking like they're giving Armendariz a little breather and see what Smith can do with the ball in his hands. And here goes the punt by number 5, Guerra, into Justin Smith's hands. And he takes the ball and finds something up the left-hand side, looking at the sideline. He's at the 30, taken down at about the Bulldog 28.
Smith making the most of his opportunity to return that punt. Good positive yardage for Raymondville, and they are deep in Lyford territory once again.
Ball on about the 27-yard line of Lyford, and Raymondville wants more pay dirt.
Those are the kind of drives you like as a coach. I'll take starting on the plus 27 anytime.
So it looks like we got a little change back here. We have Jason Cantu now at the quarterback position.
Big number 85, the sophomore.
And we have a Bulldog timeout. So it looks like Coach Cantu is going to try a little bit something different as they came out in a formation with Jason Cantu at the quarterback. And like I said, Jason Cantu stands at 6'4", so he has a really good view of the field. And with the offensive weapons that Raymondville has, who knows what he's going to find.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him run it between the tackles a couple of times just to get a look at what that big kid can do. Don't have a scouting report on his arm, though. We'll see if they let him throw the ball any.
So coming out of the timeout, 2:09 left in the third. Rainbow Bearcats 35, Lyford Bulldogs 0. With Jason Cantu now at the QB position as he awaits the snap. Cantu with the snap, keeps the ball himself, finds himself some room to run on the right side of the field at the 15-yard line and thrown out of bounds at about the 12.
There's that keeper that I kind of talked about. Now, he didn't run it between the tackles. He ran it at the right tackle and bounced outside because that's what he had. But a nice gain and gets the ball inside the 10. Actually, it's going to be spotted at the 12.
So ball now on the Bulldog 12 as Jason Cantu picks up good yardage. Jason Cantu still at the helm at the quarterback with a trips left. 2 running backs set as Armendariz and Cantu are right next to him. Ball handed off to Armendariz, who tries to get outside to the left, finds himself the room at the 5, the 10, the 5, the 4, the 3. Touchdown, Bearcats.
We got another flag on the field, though.
But there's a flag on the field.
So Armendariz took the handoff took it over to the left side of that trip side where those receivers just blocked for him, and he was able to sneak his way into the end zone. Let's see what the officials have to say about this.
And it's against the Bulldogs, so touchdown stands. Touchdown, Armendariz. So that'll give the Raymondville Bearcats 41. And Saul Garcia will try to add that extra point.
And now some of the fans on the Lyford side are folding up their stadium seats, making their way to the exits. Maybe starting to realize that the outcome of this is no longer so much in jeopardy. We can only hope that the last quarter plus 2 minutes are played without any injuries or any of the other altercations like what we saw earlier.
Field goal is good by Garcia, which almost went to the Lyford Bulldog Gymnasium.
So you're saying he kicked it pretty far?
For a field goal, yes. Or an extra point, excuse me. So that gives Raymondville Bearcats 42, Lyford Bulldogs 0. We have 1:52 left in the third quarter. And Lyford is still trying to find an answer on offense. They just can't seem to get anything going offensively, but we got to credit the Raymondville defense. Our Raymondville defense has just been stingy all night, and they're not giving up much.
Yeah, and consistency has been the issue. The positive plays that Lyford has had haven't been sustained, and then they've gotten deep into a Raymondville territory and haven't been able to cash in.
Personal foul against the Bulldogs being assessed on the kickoff.
The personal foul against Lyford on the touchdown is being assessed here, so Raymondville will kick off from the Lyford 45. Let's see if they take advantage of that and do something different, or if they just kick it straight through the end zone as they're well capable of.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in to Real Sports Live. Whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, please like, share, comment, whatever you like. Let us know what you're thinking on the outcome of this game. Give some shout outs to people watching from the Valley, watching from out of state, wherever you may be. So here we go. Saul Garcia for the kickoff. Gives a line drive kickoff that goes right up the middle, and Lyford's going to take it as a touchback. Beautiful night in Lyford, Texas, here at the 2019 Cotton Bowl on Friday the 13th on a beautiful full moon night. Raymondville Bearcats all over this one, 42-0. 1:52 in the third quarter. So now the Mean Green is trying to look for something offensively as Martinez, freshman Martinez, is still in the game. Martinez decides to keep the ball himself over to the left-hand side of the field. Gained very little, if any. Taken down by number 74 of the Bearcats, Giovanni Balderas.
So I guess at this time the question's got to be asked as to who's going to be under center for the Bulldogs when they play next. Will this freshman Osmar Martinez get another shot, or is he simply in there tonight to preserve the body of Brandon Nunez, who had to exit earlier with injury, returned, and now he's back on the sideline?
Martinez hands off to Mendoza, his running back, and Mendoza has been doing all he can tonight. Like I said, he's been trying to carry the Lyford offense every time he gets the ball. Just can't get himself a big break, but he's running hard. And the good thing for Lyford, like you were saying, Mr. Peña, is that they have a bye next week. So they'll have a bye to rest some bodies, to get things together before they go into district play the following week.
And you said their quarterback Gonzalez would be back in a couple of weeks. Is that correct?
Well, that's what we're hoping. That's what Lyford's hoping for. So Martinez back in the shotguns, got twin sets on both sides with Mendoza to his right-hand side. Martinez pulls the ball down, coming up the right-hand side of the field, but is met immediately by a gang of Raymondville Bearcats, led by number 74, Balderas, and number 56, Andrew Lopez.
And those are a couple of good-sized defensive tackles that are wrestling that freshman quarterback to the ground.
Well, when you see your big boys running like that, that's always a good thing to see. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of the third quarter. And now we are headed to the fourth with the Raymondville Bearcats up 42-0. This is Real Sports Live, coming to you from Lyford Bulldog Stadium. This is Marco Munguia alongside Mr. Albert Pena, calling the game for Real Sports Live. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, please like and share our pages and get the word out of Real Sports Live.
And also in the afternoon, 3:55 to 6:50 at the elementary, and 4:10 to 6 at the secondary.
So it's been a story of big runs from Raymondville by Justin Cantu and Zaravian Amandades, who have been the thunder and lightning all game.
Yeah, talented stable of playmakers for Raymondville, and they've been relentless. They keep feeding them the ball, and they keep producing results.
So Lyford punting the ball away, back to Raymondville, takes a Lyford bounce, which gets the ball all the way back to Raymondville's 26-yard line. So Raymondville will get the ball back to start the fourth quarter. And I don't think they're going to let off the gas.
Well, I don't think they're going to be throwing 40-yard passes downfield, but with Armendariz and Cantu, as we've said so many times, a simple handoff's got the potential of going the distance. So whatever you mean by letting off the gas, that's up to everybody's interpretation, but wonder if they'll put in some backup running backs and maybe let them tote the rock a little bit.
Well, one thing's for sure, they're letting Jason Cantu get some playing time at the QB position now. Cavazos, their starting quarterback, did a great job for the Bearcats, and it looks like they do have some second string now in there with number 35 for the Bearcats. Gets the handoff, and that's J.J. Rosas.
Number 32 is also in the backfield for Raymondville. So, yeah, they've got their horses on the sideline right now, and no sense in intentionally trying to run up the score, and also no sense in risking an injury at this juncture of the game when the outcome is all but settled.
So up 42-0. Looks like Coach Cantu has decided to give his studs a little break and let the other guys show that they can do just as good. And Lyford's hoping just to hold them here and not give them any more.
And a well-deserved break for those kids. They played a really good game.
So Jason Cantu hands the ball off to number 35, Rosas, who gets himself a good little gain. I take that back. That was number 32, Victor Oviedo, who picks up the first down.
So we've called Oviedo's name before. He just hadn't had his hands on the football. He's been out there, I think, on the defensive side, hasn't he?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
And as we talked about before the game, at this level, there's a lot of kids that play both ways. I mean, you got to get your best athletes on the field and keep them on as long as you can.
So Raymondville Bearcats get a first down there as they're going to keep trying to march down the field, and Lyford's just trying to get a stop. Jason Cantu hands the ball off to man in motion. That's number 4 for the Bearcats, Samuel Gomez, who is taken down in the backfield by a gang of the gangrene, led by number 77, Emmanuel Cepeda. for a loss of about 4.
Well, the Lyford band and the cheerleaders and the student section, they're still showing school spirit. Got some music going, some cheers. They're trying to organize a wave.
Trips left. Jason Cantu with the quarterback. Waiting for his snap. Handoff given to number 35, J.J. Rosas. And it's a loss of yards. Loss of about 5. Now QB Jason Cantu is looking at a 3rd and long. Let's see if play calls say, hey, let's check out Jason Cantu's arm. On a 3rd and long, or they're just going to hand it off and just keep the clock running.
Well, let's see. I'd like to see what he can do. If he can throw a football like he throws a baseball, he's got some arm strength.
So Jason Cantu back in the shotgun. Has a running back next to his side. He's rolling out to the the right-hand side. He keeps the ball. He's looking for a block and taken down on the right side of the field by number 20, number 21 for the Bulldogs, Tony Rowland. So Cantu picks up about 7, but well short of that first down.
And I suppose Coach Cantu is just content to let the clock run and punt the ball away and try and get his kids out of here, back on the bus and over to Whataburger, Dairy Queen, wherever their next stop is.
So 4th and about 14. Raymondville's elected to punt the ball away. For the Bulldogs, number 22, Devin Mendoza, back to receive. Punt is up. Nice looking punt over to Mendoza. Mendoza decides to let it take a bounce, and it takes a Bearcat bounce. Ball ends up on the Bulldog 23.
Ball resting at the 23-yard line where the Bulldogs will take over. 1st and 10 with 7:34 to go in the ball game.
So Bulldog ball, 1st and 10, 7:34 left in this game. Raymondville Bearcats up 42-0.
Looks like Martinez is going to stay in the game at quarterback for Lyford. Nunez still over there with his helmet halfway off, halfway on the sidelines. Mendoza still in the backfield, though.
Ball handed off to Mendoza, 22, who finds a little bit of room up on the right-hand side. Cuts back for a couple yards, gain of about 3 or 4.
And you got to like the grittiness of Mendoza. He just keeps taking the ball, hasn't turned it down. He's running into traffic. I hope that kid sleeps good tonight. He's gonna deserve it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can almost promise you when he gets home, he's going to be exhausted.
He's probably exhausted now.
You can't question that kid's heart. He's been playing hard all night long, trying to get every yard that he can. And his heart is showing tonight. Martinez rolls over to the right-hand side, finds some room to run, a little stutter step. He's on the 45-yard line, the 50, the 45, the 40, jukes a man over to the 30, finally taken down at Raymondville's 24-yard line. Osmar Martinez for the big run for the Lyford Bulldogs. Finds a seam on the outside of the right-hand side and made a couple of juke moves. He pressed that X button on the PlayStation for a juke. Finally taken down on the Bearcats 23.
And just like the first drive that he came in on, he's given a little life to the Lyford offense. They've got to convert, get some points on the board, and get that goose egg done with.
So Lyford Bulldogs still fighting regardless of being down 42-0. In situations like this, I promise you, Coach Gonzalez is saying you just fight to the end. You fight till you have triple zeros on that board and that last buzzer goes off. You fight, and you get what you can, and you keep going until the game is over.
Yeah, because you know those coaches, when they get together later this weekend, they're going to look at these last 6.5 minutes of film and see who's still playing hard on every snap, and decisions will be made about playing time based upon what happens these last few minutes of the game.
Martinez back in the shotgun now, waiting for the snap. Ball is snapped, given over to Mendoza, who finds some room on the left-hand side of the field, and the ball is dropped on the floor, but picked up again by Lyford, and ball is brought back. Picked up by Matt Sanchez, but we have a little scuffle once again with flags flying all over.
Yeah, more flags over there at the 15-yard line. One of the Raymondville defenders holding back a teammate.
So Mendoza had a little something over on the left-hand side of the field, found some running room, but when he's trying to be brought down, the ball slips out, and Mark Sanchez falls on top of it, giving the ball right back to Lyford. But up down the field, we had a little pushing and shoving, so flags come out. Let's see what the refs decide to call.
We got a couple of Bulldogs over here on this side stretching stuff out too. Not sure if they're cramping up or, something a little more serious. Offsetting penalties.
So we'll replay that down. Make that 2nd and 10. Ball on the Raymondville 23. And Lyford's still trying to put some points on the board. And Raymondville's going to try to hold them to a goose egg. So let's see who's going to win this battle. Martinez back in shotgun. Got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Martinez pulls the ball down, finds his running room off the right side of the field, but ball is on the field, and it rolls out of bounds. Another break for the Bulldogs. That's 2 turnovers that could have gone right back to the Bearcats, but the ball just rolled Lyford's way, and they recovered both of those fumbles. 5:50 left in the game. Bearcats 42, Bulldogs 0. Well, the Bulldogs are trying to score here. We're looking at a 3rd and 9. Ball on Bulldogs, on Raymondville Bearcats 21. Martinez rolling out to the right-hand side of the field, but brought down by number 11, Dylan Ramirez, who has put himself together a nice defensive game. Once again, Ramirez is Raymondville's leading tackler, leads the team in tackles, also leads the team in sacks.
Lyford in no hurry. Players are looking over here to the sideline, getting their call from the coaches. They're in a spread formation. Martinez with 1 back. Mendoza still in the backfield.
Martinez pulls back, looking for a receiver, and almost intercepted by number 13, Justin Cantu.
And truth be told, he should have been intercepted. That ball was right in Cantu's hands.
Cantu, who is an offensive weapon for the Bearcats, had a big opportunity to pick up something on defense, and the ball just went through his hands.
And I'm surprised he's still in the game at this juncture.
4:41 to go in the ball game.
So ball goes over on downs, and the Raymondville Bearcats get the ball back.
And the shutout is preserved for now.
I'm thinking Coach Cantu will play it conservative, run the ball, let the clock run.
So yeah, if they run this last 4:40 off the clock, I'm sure he'd be happy.
Jason Cantu back in the quarterback position, hands the ball off to his halfback, who's brought down immediately by number 55, of Lyford, Oscar.
Victor Oviedo, number 32, the ball carrier, met immediately for a 1-yard loss.
Lupercio with a tackle.
Lupercio, let's call him Lupercio. Coming up on 4 minutes now. What do we got? Second
and 12.
Second and 12. Trips left, 2 in the backfield for Cantu.
And Cantu's waiting for the snap. Ball is snapped. Hands off to his halfback, who finds some room up the middle. Good little gain by number 35, J.J. Rosas. Still a bit short of the first. There is a flag on the field now. The ball is being brought back. Penalty on the Bearcats. An illegal procedure. Back 5. Looking at a 2nd and 16 for Jason Cantu to make something happen. Jason Cantu back, waiting for the snap. Snap is given, pulls back, finds himself a little shuffle pass off to the side. Rosas finds some room. He's on the 45, the 40, the 50, the 45, 40, 30, 25, 20, all the way down to Lyford's 10-yard line. So big pitch and catch from Jason Cantu over to number 35, J.J. Rosas, and brought down by number 18 of the Bulldogs, who was not going to let him get that long touchdown.
Yeah, Rosas just about took it all the way, but he was denied 10 yards shy of the goal line. I didn't see if he stayed in the game or if he went out for a breather as Lyford or Raymondville huddles up.
So ball on the Bulldog 11.
No, he's been replaced by 33 now. 33's in the backfield for the Bearcats.
Jason Cantu back for the snap. Cantu hands off to number 35. Number 35, number 33. Carlos Benitez. Ball on the Bulldog 12. We got 2nd and goal. Play call coming in to Jason Cantu, who has led the Bearcats this whole 4th quarter at the QB position.
I think if the Bulldogs can make a couple of tackles here, they can get out of this one without any further damage.
Hand off to Victor Oviedo, who finds some running room, picks up about 4. 3rd and goal. 1:23 left in our ball game. Bearcats up 42-0. Clock is ticking. We're almost down to a minute left in the game. Bearcats are in no rush to get the play in. Letting the clock tick. Play clock's at 5. Jason Cantu comes under center. Pulls back with a snap and kneels the ball.
And as I suspected, they're in no rush, no sense of urgency. They feel no need to punch another one in just for the sake of punching it in, which is a good show of sportsmanship on their part.
A lot of credit and a lot of respect to both coaches, Coach Cantu and Coach Gonzalez. As this game started, it was heated, a lot of emotion, but as the game came through, the coaching staffs on both sides have done a tremendous job taming those emotions and just playing some football. Clock's ticking down to 6 seconds. Gone through with the snap, kneels the ball down as time will slowly expire. But over on downs with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, the clock's going to stop on change of possession.
So
They're
the
going to
clock
force
stops.
Lyford to run one play.
The clock stops on that change of possessions, leaving 3 seconds left in the game. So the Lyford Bulldogs will come out with 3 seconds left.
But the celebrating has started over there on the east end. You got folks waving towels. There's yellow smoke. Raymondville fans are starting to file out over there on the southeast corner and headed back north.
So Bulldogs will get the snap. And there it is, and it is knelt down. And clock has expired. And that will do it for the 2019 Cotton Bowl, as the Raymondville Bearcats are your 2019 Cotton Bowl champs. This has been a tremendous game to watch. It was fun to watch. The score is a little lopsided with Raymondville winning 42-0, but I can promise you there was a lot of excitement here tonight in tonight's crowd. The crowd came out strong on both sides. We want to thank the Raymondville fans. We want to thank the Lyford fans. We want to thank Lyford CISD for their hospitality and how great they were to us as we came in tonight. So any final words, Mr. Pena?
Well, Bearcats showed that they're a team to be reckoned with. Their only blemish on the year is a loss to a really, really good La Feria team, but they bounced back with the win against La Grulla and a really convincing win tonight, a good win for them. You know, you just like to see them clean up some of that emotional play, some of the mistakes they made. Mistakes were made on both sides. Lyford, no telling where they go from now. Don't know what's going to happen with their quarterback situation. I mean, the kids played hard. You know, they just didn't go their way tonight.
So Raymondville improves to 2-1 on the season. Lyford goes to 0-3. Next week, the Raymondville Bearcats have St. Joe at home. I believe it is their homecoming week as well, where Lyford will go into a bye week. And hopefully that bye week gives them some time to heal some of their injuries before they get into district, which will be the following week. So it's been a pleasure calling with Mr. Pena tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed on the air. Once again, we gave you the live audio broadcast. Due to UIL regulations, we could not show a video feed of it, but stay tuned for the highlights. We will try to put together a highlight reel of tonight's game with some video. This is Marco Munguia and Mr. Albert Pena signing off for Real Sports Live. Make sure you tune in. We have volleyball games going on this week. And next Friday, once again, we have more Friday Night Lights in the Rio Grande Valley. This is Real Sports Live. Marco Munguia signing off.